Hello, whoa, okay, right. Hello again. This is, kind of confused on what it is. It's either PH Digital or it's Gadgets Anonymous. So, hi, my name's Peter. PH are my initials, and then the digital is, digital for digital things. And normally what we do is we discuss gadgets on this channel. Case in point, the one I'm wearing today, this is the Polar Grit X. Yeah, Polar Grit X. And it is a smartwatch. It measures your heart rate. It measures altitude, cycling, sleeping, steps, all that fun stuff, all wrapped into one rugged case. And I'm going on day 5, so this is 5 days later with the Polar Grit X. I just got this, hence day 5. And you know, I really like it. It's interesting, and let me take those glasses off, let it glare. I wasn't really sure what to make of it at first, and I like it. I like the simplicity. I like the details you get after you work out, and it wears well. As far as style, you know, it looks a little bulky, but you know, after wearing the TicWatch Pro 2020, and I've worn Suunto watches and Garmin and Samsung, I'm not bragging, it's quite the addiction, hence the term Gadgets Anonymous. And yeah, this is my watch of the month. So this is what I'll be wearing every day for the next, through the rest of August. And this is what we're going to be talking about. So let's take a look at the battery life. And because, Polar actually said, I wrote it down here, rugged, durable, multiple power saving options. They have fuel-wise, which basically, I looked into it, it's kind of cool. It's basically a food and water prompter, which can be good depending on your workout needs. And there's a nightly recharge, which I really like. You can collect data all you want. Garmin collects data, Fitbit, Samsung, the Oura Ring, which is charging right behind me. This is the Oura Ring. This collects a ton of data. But the question is, what are they doing with all that data? It's easy to collect data. Any gadget you buy online is going to collect your steps and your calories, and you can see the sensors in there, all that fun stuff. But what is it doing with the data, and is that gadget actually helping you? Yeah, that's the question I'm going to talk about today with the Polar. So I don't know what to say about it other than, yeah, like they said, the nightly recharge, it has helped me make the most of my day, and it does give practical guidance through the Polar Flow app, and it helps me avoid overtraining, which is a huge thing. Undertraining is one thing. You know, you have a 10K race that you're training for, and you only train up to 5 miles, and then you get there and you only have to run one more, you might be okay. Now, overtraining, which is even worse, so you're training for a 10K race, and instead of training your long run being at, 6.4 miles, you train up and you're running 8 and 9 miles every Saturday on your long run day. Yeah, that's overtraining. And overtraining can cause really, really bad things. Really bad things. You do not want to overtrain. So the idea that this device can help you avoid overtraining, but then actually tell you, hey, over the last couple nights, your body has recharged really well, let's go for it. That's awesome. So that's what the watch told me yesterday, and I went on a bike ride, and I'll show you those stats real quickly, or that was in another video. Never mind, scratch that. And yeah, so let's take a look at the charging, and I'll show you what I was able to do over the first 5 days with this Polar Grit X. Hopefully the camera can you see that, cameraman? You can see all the flashing lights. Here, let me turn on the lights. There we go. So we got a little reflection there, but yeah, the lights are really nice. Now, unlike Garmin and Samsung, you can see on the body of the watch, it has that little convex circle. So when you're wearing the watch, here, let's flip. So that little bust out, if you will, when you're wearing the watch at night, because it kind of sinks right into your skin, not in a bad way, it doesn't light up really brightly. And then automatically the screen's gonna dim. It's not gonna be as bright as it is now. So you saw that when you lift up the watch, it quickly says 15%. Now I'm planning to go on a bike ride in a bit, so I need to charge this up. Now it charges one way, very simple. See the red dot? You line up the red dot. So we have to document this because that's what I do. So here's all the stats. So on 7/31 is when I unboxed this gadget, this smartwatch, and it was fully charged at 2 o'clock. It's almost 2 o'clock now, so it made it 5 days. Really nice. A full day longer than the VivoFit series, and I used the GPS a ton. So when Polar said that this has really good battery life, well, they were not lying. So thumbs up, Polar. So here we'll plug it in at 1300, and it's at 15%. And mind you, I've been wearing this all day long and all night. So you just flip, 15% and charging. So we'll come back in a bit and see how quickly this watch charges, and in the meantime I'll do some math and tell you what I was able to do over the last 5 days with this gadget and what you'll be able to do with the cool battery life that it has. See you soon. All right, wasn't that time-lapse fun? So, not bad. It went from 15% to 98% in a little over an hour. And if you disconnect it, not full yet. So that's kind of fun. So nice little animation / developer humor. And it's at 100%. There we go. And then I top them off, so I'm gonna leave it at 100% for another 5 minutes. And we'll see where we go from there. So there we go, so 1408. So I'm guessing if it was at 0%, which I don't recommend doing unless you have to, it would fully charge in about an hour and a half or less, probably right around an hour and 20 minutes. And I'm just using a 5-watt charger, nothing fancy. And the nice thing is the watch is not warm. With that previous watch, I was testing the TicWatch Pro 2020. Even using my USB charger off my computer, the watch would get warm. Your watch should not get warm while it's charging. These contact charging, what are they called? Cradles, you know, these little gadgets. These should not get your watch hot. If it does, you might be using the wrong type of charger. So buyer beware on that one. Okay, that was fun. All right, let's wrap this up. So over that 5-day battery life, what was I able to do? Well, if you go into the Polar Flow app, which is right here, and then you go to training, you can go by week, or you can just say all. And here we go. So this is everything. And I added it up for you. We did walking, indoor workout, which was 9.5 hours. I basically just wanted to see what the device would do if I was just indoors living. I was watching TV, reading, played some cards, watched some more TV. It was a Sunday. I was just kind of chilling. And you can see on the workout screen, it thought I burned 1,700 calories over 9 hours. That's quite a bit. Anyway, but the battery life is really good, much better than the Garmin VivoActive 4, and again, both of these are in the same price range. They're both $400. Actually, this one might be down to $350 now. So yeah, overall 16 hours of activity over those 5 days, and close to, yeah, over 6 hours of GPS. So really good battery life on the Grit. Now, one thing I've learned since I've had this, it's syncing automatically, but sometimes not. So what you have to do, you go to More, and then you go to Devices. And then once you go to Devices, in that top part, it says Sync to see battery status. And it says it last synchronized at 12:10. Well, it's 14:28. So what you do is you just hold down this bottom button, do a long press. Oh, I have it in airplane mode. Silly Peter. Now this is one thing, it's a little bit wonky. Sometimes when you want to slide down to get this setting navigation shortcut, it doesn't quite do that. Okay, so now if we do a long press, connecting to phone, synchronizing, and then the app updates with that icon to let you know it's communicating with the watch, and now it's synchronizing. So if it doesn't synchronize automatically for you, that's all you have to do on the Polar Grit X. And now it should update with the latest and greatest. Sync to see battery status. Sure, you can say those both ways. So we're going to set that down so the footage is not all jittery, and then we'll just zoom in. There we go. I've been trying to keep these videos less shaky, so you can see on the watch that it's synchronizing. And if you haven't synchronized in a while, yes, this is going to take a while. It takes longer to synchronize if you haven't synchronized. I haven't synchronized at all since this morning when I woke up. Now, another thing that Polar does well that Garmin does not is that, now, I really like Garmin. And again, I'm new to Polar, but Polar has the sleep data right on the watch. It's much better on the app. There we go. So now it's synchronized, synchronizing done, and it lets us know that the battery is full. So now we can take that off, and should be good for another 5 days. So I'm probably not going to do a long workout again. I'm betting I can get this battery to last 7 days. I've never had a Garmin or a Samsung or a Fitbit smartwatch last that long. Oh, I sure like seeing that 100%. Anyway, so it's great. I really like the watch. I love the interface. Now it is simplistic. There are only 2 watch faces that you can get. If you go to your settings, and this is the part that I like, you don't have to swipe down, so you can keep the screen clean. There we go to settings, general, physical, watch settings, watch face, digital or analog. So you saw the digital, I'll show you the analog. And now it's changed. Now we can click back. And there's your digital. Now you still have the different inputs. So you have the weather version, you have activity advice, you have nightly recharge, which is very poor. Now if I click the center red button right here on the right, it gives me information on that, and then I can scroll down. So there's my ANS charge, my sleep charge, and then we can open it or we can go right to sleep. So my sleep charge 68, below usual. And I only slept for 4 hours and 2 minutes last night. But hey, that happens. That's part of life, right? I'll just go to bed earlier tonight and maybe take some melatonin. And I'm definitely going to make sure I walk the dog tonight before I go to sleep. So, when your pets sleep well, you sleep well. So I like how everything is on the watch. Garmin forces you to view the details in the app, which is better. I mean, here you have the nightly recharge, and you can see it's much more detailed in the app, and yeah, it's easy to read, but if you were, I don't know, it's just nice to have both. And then there's my sleep data, as you can see, and then you can also jump to a week as well. Easy interface. You can have this nice kind of circular view of your whole day. And the part I really like is the heart rate information. So one thing that I've really been gearing towards on these apps and gadgets lately is, yes, they collect data, but what are they doing to help you? And both this fitness ring, the Oura ring that I've been testing for the last month, and Polar have really opened my eyes to how much you can do with the data you're collecting and how little some companies are doing. So I was really interested in what Fitbit was doing with sleep, but ever since Polar and the information I've been getting with the Oura ring, boy, it's just fascinating to see what an app and what the right ecosystem can do for your health. And I'll learn more as I test this for the next month. So it says right here, a rest day might be just what you need. So I'm going to go on just a nice, easy 10-mile bike ride. And then it even lets me know, try to focus on the present with mindful relaxation techniques. They might ease physical and mental stress. And you can do that right in the watch. If you zoom back and go to start training, and you can click on this serene, you can set the duration, do a 3-minute kind of inhale breathing exercise. Here, I'll just quickly show this to you. And start. Okay, once again, I have things to learn about this watch. Now, I don't want to set the duration, there we go. And then it's going to ask you to sit down, and then you just breathe in and breathe out, and it helps you relax. Samsung does this, TicWatch does it, Garmin does it, Fitbit does it. The animations are pretty cool, and if I'm quiet, you can hear it vibrate. I like the air bubbles. And there you go. That's my summary for the Polar Grit X during my first 5 days. I like it so far. It's very insightful. That would be a summary. And I like the data that it's giving me about sleep and restfulness and recovery. A lot of smartwatches don't do that. They collect all the data, but then they're not giving you a really good report of what that data means and how it relates to your health or how it relates to your exercise. That's all I have for now. Thanks for watching. I'll have more on the Polar Watch Grit X over the next 4 weeks. And yeah, comments below, especially pithy comments. I welcome those very much. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be testing more gadgets during this month, mainly just Polar, and I have another week with the Oura ring, but I'll be doing some comparative analysis between the Polar watches and also Garmin and Samsung, the 2 watches that I've purchased over the last year. And that's all. I'll also be doing some swimming workouts, so I'm curious to see how Polar and Garmin and Samsung differ with their swimming information. Thanks again for coming by. We'll see you again in 2 to 3 days. Goodbye.